Did you miss me? Just can't get enough. I just can't get enough of this. Hello, my fam. Perez Hilton here, the queen of all media, the original influencer, and your number one source for everything It Ends With Us saga. Earlier today, I shared with you all Justin Baldoni's response to Dick Poole's motion to be dismissed from the lawsuit mess that began because of him and his wife. Yeah, remember that? The basement manager filed a lawsuit against him first. He has just been defending himself. And Liability Lively's husband has been more than just a supportive spouse. He has been complicit and conspiring. And now the original director of It Ends With Us is responding to the lip nibbler's request that she be removed from the lawsuit. In a response filed moments ago, Team Baldoni says the first amended complaint contains hundreds of pages rife with factual detail about Lively's calculated efforts first to extort and manipulate the Wayfarer parties into ceding total control over the film It Ends With Us, and then to defame and scapegoat them when her plan backfired. Ouch. Nonetheless, Lively refuses to accept responsibility for the trail of untold destruction she left in her wake. But she goes further still. Lively asks the court not only to dismiss the first amended complaint, but also to award her attorney's fees, costs, and treble and punitive damages for the Wayfarer party's constitutionally protected act of petitioning the court for redress of their grievances. In essence, Lively asks the court to find that she is immune from any culpability for her wrongful acts. And instead, it is the Wayfarer parties who must be punished for daring to exercise their constitutional right to seek a remedy from the court for her lies. The motion must be denied. The first amended complaint specifically alleges abundant facts in support of the Wayfarer party's claims against Lively, based both on her direct actions and on those of her co-conspirators and agents. The Wayfarer parties have pleaded allegations against Lively sufficient to defeat dismissal, and Lively's arguments often border on frivolous. Remember, when the Woody Allen apologist submitted her request to be dismissed from the lawsuit, she argued that she cannot be prosecuted because she made a claim of sexual harassment and she is protected from prosecution. However, Baldoni is arguing that she is not immune from liability because she did not act alone, she acted with malice, and she had unreasonable basis for her claims. Therefore, they argue the only possible result is a denial of the motion to dismiss in full. As they also mentioned in their response to Scarlett Johansson's ex-husband and his request to be dismissed, they say that any inartful pleading in the first amended complaint can be readily cured by amendment, which is freely allowed, and the Wayfarer parties, as I told you previously, are every day obtaining further facts to plead in support of each of their claims against Reynolds and Delulu. And also echoing what they said to her hubby, they claim that Amber Lively is not entitled to collect any fees whatsoever. No attorney's fees, treble damages, punitive damages, etc. Then they go into the arguments for why all of their claims against her are solid. Blake Hurd conspired with her publicist to defame him, they say. And they say that her publicist and Reynolds acted as Lively's henchmen in carrying out the vicious scheme to usurp the film franchise and destroy the Wayfarer parties, with the former leveraging media connections and the latter leveraging entertainment industry connections. As alleged, Lively acted with and through them. Dun dun dun. And because of their wrongdoing, she too is liable, per the law, they argue. Plus, the hair care professional is her publicist's boss and responsible yet again. She's totally responsible. Per the law, which they mention a lot of press and specifically single out the New York Times and all that drama. They claim that Blake Lively herself made defamatory statements about the smear campaign and the false allegations of sexual harassment. They also point out that this statute of limitations argument that they were trying to make is meritless, pointing out that the New York Times article came out in December. They claim that throughout she was a mean girl acting with malice. They call her out on so many of the lies. For example, her false claim that there was no intimacy coordinator, or her false claim that people were insisting on being around her when she was undressed or breastfeeding. They say that's not true. Her false claim that she was shown corn, et cetera, et cetera. We don't need to rehash it all. And it says, the foregoing are representative examples and do not come close to capturing the full scope of Lively's fabrications. Suffice it to say, the first amended complaint alleges in the strongest possible terms that the accusations made by Lively concerning sexual harassment and retaliation are false, and that Lively knows and always knew they were false. Jumping ahead, because I want to get to as many of the most important points for you all. As to the allegations of sexual harassment, Lively clearly knew they were false at the time she made them because she was describing her own purported experiences, as outlined above and exhaustively detailed in the first amended complaint. Lively was not sexually harassed on the set of the film, and she grossly mischaracterized or outright fabricated the events in question, even in sworn legal documents. Ooh, that's a new one. They are alleging that she has lied to the court in sworn legal documents. Oopsies. Lively and her co-conspirators engaged in a coordinated campaign to exaggerate benign interactions in service of a false narrative that Lively had been sexually harassed. They did so to instill terror in the Wayfarer parties and leverage it to accumulate power and snatch his film away, which they did. This accumulation of power depended upon the ability to conjure and exploit ruinous allegations. The allegations were never true, and Lively knew it full well. Additionally, the smear campaign that never happened, he did not engage in one against her. They say Lively also knew that the smear campaign narrative was false or acted with reckless disregard for its truth. With her co-conspirators, Lively got hold of communications between the Wayfarer parties from Stephanie Jones that disproved the claim that the Wayfarer parties had orchestrated a smear campaign. Lots of malice. It also goes into why she did extort them. Remember, they were trying to get him to issue a statement, which he refused, and they threatened the gloves would come off if he didn't. And he didn't, and the gloves came off. He wasn't going to say he's sorry for things he didn't do. They claim that she personally also was involved in his getting axed from the William Morris agency. And because of all of this, they urge the court to deny her motion to be dismissed from the case. I second that. Zero chance this is going to happen, Pinocchio. Thoughts? Let's discuss this all and everything in the comments section.